Hi, good morning. Let's all think cool, all right? So welcome. We'd like to ask the audience to remain standing for the invocation, which will be offered by Reverend Claudine Crooks. Reverend Crooks is the pastor of the Poquonock Bridge Baptist Church in Groton, Connecticut. But importantly, she is the mom of Heidi Patricia Butler, a member of the class of 2018. Following the benediction, please remain standing for the singing of the national anthem.
Good morning. James Weldon Johnson was born in 1871. Author, educator, lawyer, diplomat, songwriter, and civil rights activist. He was the first African American chosen as executive secretary of the NAACP in 1920. Perhaps best known for writing the lyrics to the anthem, "Lift Every Voice and Sing," he also wrote a collection of sermons in verse entitled God's Trombones. One such sermon is called The Creation, and in it we find these words: "Then God himself stepped down, and the sun was on his right hand, and the moon was on his left. The stars were clustered about his head, and the earth was under his feet. And God walked, and where he trod, his footsteps hollowed the valleys out and bulged the mountains up." Will you join me in prayer? Known by many names, God as creator, God as light, she is glory, he is grace. You are wisdom and spirit, you are word and song. Your images of love are diverse, and in our diversity, we reflect the fullness of who you are. We know you this day by all names and by your footsteps on this earth. We also know these graduates by their footsteps. As parents and grandparents, we remember the very first steps they took in this world. As siblings and friends, we remember baby steps they took as they learned and grew. As teachers and mentors, we remember big steps they took to define who they would become. And as professors and staff, we remember walking in front of them to lead in their challenges, walking beside them to encourage their endeavors, walking behind them to follow their achievements. God, today we have watched them walk in procession to celebrate and honor the work they have done. And soon we will see them walk across this stage to receive the reward and acknowledgement of their extraordinary accomplishments. Be near to them in strength and joy. Be near to us in pride and purpose. And may all the steps we have taken bring your blessing to this moment. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Crooks. Please welcome Wakapella to sing our national anthem.
broad stripes and bright stars, through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets bursting, the bombs bursting, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Okay, please be seated. So again, good morning. I want to welcome to all the family and friends, faculty and staff, honored guests, but especially you, our graduating class. You know, this morning, we're here to celebrate your amazing achievements. You have bright futures and your accomplishments will be many, and this college is extraordinarily proud of you. But before we honor you, I'd like you to honor some very special people. I'd like you to stand and look toward wherever your family, guardians, siblings, best friends, those people who supported you, and give them a real nice round of applause because they deserve it. And now I want you also to thank another extraordinary group of people. I think the most important asset we have as a college, even in those times when you sometimes were late at night wondering what that test was going to be like or what's going to happen, you knew that the people you would remember most from this college experience are your friends, and then some of these extraordinary faculty members. Let's stand and give them a nice round of applause too, would you? So, now in keeping with our time-honored tradition, I am pleased to introduce a person who I got to know my first day here, is an extraordinary human being. She's our senior class speaker, May Quiros. You didn't even hear what I had to say about her. She's a top political science major, wrote her senior capstone thesis on the political, economic, and cultural motivations for Brexit, which I know I want to read. And she's also served ably as the Student Government Association president in her senior year. May has accepted a position with Tyco and Zabrini, a law firm in the nation's capital, with a reputation for litigating complex cases and serving the public interest. She's going to pursue a law school degree in the near future. Please welcome one of the most extraordinary people in our class, May Quiros.
All right, I'm going to be honest with you. I thought my speech would be on the podium, but I brought it with me, so it's fine. We're good. Grace Kim. hood? Could you bring the hood? Never mind, I got it right here. Okay. All right, just a quick pause. So sorry, everybody. All right, good morning, Washington College faculty, staff, alumni, parents, fellow classmates, and a special good morning to the graduating class of 2018. Well, we're here. For many of us, these past few months have been incredibly emotionally turbulent. Being sad to leave this place that we've called home, being excited to embark on new adventures, being downright terrified that we are not prepared for the future. Yes, these conflicting emotions lead to a very confused and disgruntled senior. But nevertheless, we persevered. We finished our finals, we completed our theses, and now we're just moments away from the rest of our lives. And so I reminisce, as I'm sure we all have, at our time here at Washington College. There's no doubt about it, this place is special. This place is unique. But does anyone know why? Can anyone put it into words? I can't, and I'm a tour guide. I've been getting paid to know what it is. I've tried, though, but I can never seem to get it right. No, I can't describe it in words for you, but I can describe it with people. You see, we've all sat in the same classrooms, lived in the same dorms, ate the same food, ran around the same flagpole. We may all be different from different disciplines, but we've all earned a liberal arts education, one that has played an integral part in our education. But I would venture to say that there is no greater impact that this college has had on us than the people that it's placed on our paths. People like Veronica Isaacs, better known as Miss V. For those in the audience who don't know, Miss V works in our dining hall and greets every single student as she comes in. There's 1,474 students here, by the way. You might be having a bad day, but the minute you hear Miss V say your name and ask you how you're doing, you smile and things get a little better. People like award-winning poet, Dr. James Allen Hall. His students have described him as spirited, relatable, and challenging, and every day he inspires them to unapologetically dedicate themselves to their passions. But he also serves many students as a confidant. Dr. Hall knows the power of listening, not the kind of listening when you're spending half the time thinking about what you're going to say next, the kind of listening that provides healing and comfort for those who just want to be heard. People like our president, Kurt Landgraf. He could boast quite the resume since he's been living an incredibly accomplished life, but fortunately for us, he just doesn't have the ego to match it. If any of you have had the chance to speak with him and addressed him as President Landgraf, you'll know that he'll immediately say, "Just call me Kurt." People like our very own Liza Slavin. In July of 2015, Liza was diagnosed with a brain tumor. On September 29th, 2 years later, at one of her final field hockey games, she scored her first career goal. The odds were stacked against her, but her spirit never faltered. She influenced people with her love of life spirit, and when she was tested, she dug inside and turned to her courageous spirit to persevere. And finally, people like our fellow students, that when tragedy struck this spring, chose to speak, dared to ask, and demanded that we all do better. We've all earned our liberal arts education here in our chosen disciplines, and the education we've gained is invaluable. But when we're all out there living our lives, I only ask a few simple things of you. That every now and then, you take the time to say hello, how are you, to anyone with whom you don't normally speak to. That no matter how accomplished you are, no matter how much you achieve, and we will achieve, that you remain humble. That every so often you choose to listen, to truly listen, instead of speak. That in the face of adversity, no matter how rough the seas wave, and they will be rough, that you dig deep, stand strong, and never give up. That your moral compass points true, and that you never hesitate to speak up for your beliefs. Imagine the world today if we could all take these small lessons from this small college on the Chester River out into the world to live out every day. Well, let's not imagine it, let's do it. Thank you.
Wow, thank you, May. Good luck. Although I somehow feel that luck is not what she's going to need. She's going to be extraordinary. So perhaps one of the best measures of the quality of any educational institution is the character and accomplishments of its graduates. The Alumni Association of Washington College each year recognizes a graduate who, by achievement and service to the community and country, have attained distinction in their chosen field. This year, the Alumni Board of Washington College has selected Linda Ayers to receive the Alumni Citation for Excellence in American Art. Linda is a member of the class of 1969 and an art historian who spent much of her career at George Washington's Mount Vernon, where she was director of its collections. Ariane Rabanbach, the class of 1989 of the alumni and chair of our alumni board, will offer greetings and read the citation. Mr. Rabanbach.
Thank you, President Landgraf. What an honor it is to stand before the members of the Washington College class of 2018 on their graduation. Congratulations on your achievement. I'd also like to recognize all the alumni in attendance. Thank you for coming back, and especially those alumni who have children graduating today. I met some of those yesterday, and we're really excited about that, so congratulations to you all. It is now my privilege to award the 2018 Alumni Citation for Excellence in Art. Linda Ayers, will you please join me on stage? Linda Ayers' life and career have been intertwined with that of our nation's first president. She was born on Washington Street in Berlin, Maryland, and graduated from Washington College with a degree in humanities, solid preparation for a master's degree in art history from Tufts University. On her wedding day, she and her husband Brewster visited George Washington's Mount Vernon, one of our nation's most historically significant places, and one where she would later return to serve as the museum's assistant director and become director of collections. Under her care, more than 15,000 period pieces of furniture, ceramics, glass, textiles, metals, paintings, miniatures, sculptures, each illuminating the intellect, style, and character of George Washington. And under her wise counsel, Mount Vernon built a new museum of fine and decorative arts that helps visitors better understand the life and times of our first president and his family. When it opened in 2006, the 6,000 square foot museum was hailed as a national treasure, offering a refreshing and insightful look into the taste, style, and personalities of the Washington family through artifacts most closely associated with his life at Mount Vernon, the Revolutionary War, and the American presidency. Linda began her career as assistant curator of American art for the National Gallery of Art. She served as chief of the Prints and Photographs Division at the Library of Congress from 1997 through 1999. She has worked as a museum consultant, assistant director of the museum program for the National Endowment for the Arts, and deputy director of the Wadsworth Atheneum in Hartford, Connecticut. She was also the curator of paintings and sculpture at the Almond Carter Museum of American Art in Fort Worth, Texas, and assistant to the director at Harvard's Fogg Art Museum. But nowhere has her impact as curator and scholar of art history been more keenly felt than at Mount Vernon, where millions of visitors and generations of historians, present and future, look for inspiration and enlightenment. In recognition of her significant contributions toward preserving and interpreting the history of our great nation, we are delighted to present to Linda Ayers the Alumni Citation for Excellence in American Art.
Linda, your alma mater is very proud of your accomplishments, and thank you very much. You know, it's a tradition at Washington College to celebrate people of extraordinary merit. We are so honored to have Kevin Jeffrey Martin, the former chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, who was recently named Vice President of Public Policy at Facebook, to be here with us today. And thank you for bringing your family with you to be here today, and they're seated over here. In all his dealings with government and industry leaders, Kevin is guided by the constitutional law and strong moral compass that compels him to do the right thing for the American people. Devising regulatory reform for social media platforms is a big job. And Kevin, our country is depending on you. Kevin is a fine example of someone who sets a very high standard for our young graduates. It is now my privilege to introduce the chair of our Board of Visitors and Governors, Washington College alumnus, Larry Culp. Larry is a senior lecturer at the Harvard Business School, focusing on leadership and general management in the MBA and executive education programs. Prior to joining the faculty at the Harvard Business School, he worked for Danaher for 25 years, the last 14 as the Chief Executive Officer. He also serves as a senior advisor on Bain Capital Private Equity, in addition to serving as the chairman of the board of this school. Larry is a member of the boards of the General Electric Company, T. Rowe Price Directors, and Wake Forest University. Please join me in welcoming Larry, who will deliver greetings from the Board of Visitors and Governors and read the mandamus for the college honors. Mr. Culp.
Good morning. We could be in New Orleans. Keep that in mind. It is my pleasure to extend to everyone on campus today the greetings from the Board of Visitors and Governors. We're thrilled that you're here. And most importantly, on behalf of my colleagues, I want to extend to the class of 2018 our heartiest congratulations for a job very well done. Enjoy the moment. Enjoy the day. You've worked hard to be here. You deserve it. Service on the board of Washington College is a way for a number of us to give back. And the education that you have received here over the last 4 years is something that we alumni can relate to. We also have parents on the board who understand in a very personal way what you have received in your time here. And in fact, we have, believe it or not, a couple of grandparents. And with today's graduation, I see Tuck Maddox in the audience, we'll have one more grandparent of a Washington College graduate on the board. We understand why this education is so special. And it is our most fondest hope that as you leave today, you take away at least 3 important aspects of a liberal arts education. The first is a love for learning, a truly personal, deep passion for discovering and mastering new things. I hate to break this to you, particularly those of you still in the midst of your job searches. No one's going to hire you for what you know today, but they will hire you and they will promote you for what you're able to discover and master over the course of your lives. I hope that you got a taste for leadership, whether it be in a club, a team, or on student government. Whether it was a large or a small role, you began a journey that I hope takes you forward for the rest of your days. Because everything, or just about everything worth doing in life, is worth doing with others. And that's why leadership is so important. And all of us form lifelong relationships here with friends, classmates, faculty, administration, and others in the community. Take those relationships forward, and as May said, please don't become too distant. This is a family. We want to make sure you maintain your membership in the community. So with that, let me read the mandamus for the college honors. It having been certified by the Honors and Awards Committee to the Visitors and Governors of Washington College that Kevin Jeffrey Martin is of acknowledged eminence and distinction has made worthwhile and noteworthy contributions to our society, and is therefore worthy to receive the highest honors, you are hereby authorized and directed, in accordance with the ordinance to that effect, to confer at the public commencement on May the 20th, 2018, to Kevin Jeffrey Martin, honoris causa, the degree Doctor of Laws.
So before I introduce Kevin in just a moment, the very first honorary degree given by the college was to General George Washington. Dr. William Smith, the college's founding president, described the newly chartered institution as a seminary of universal learning expressly dedicated to your name, with a view of instructing and animating the youth of many future generations to admire and to imitate the public virtues and patriotic labors in the heart of every good citizen. Washington gave 50 guineas to begin the school, which I'm told translates to $10 million in today's numbers. Now, Kevin, I just thought I would mention that to you, okay? Today we present and honor another extraordinary American with giving him an honorary degree. Kevin Martin, would you please come and join me? So, many of you won't remember this, but some will. You remember when you used to get a newspaper delivered in the morning? No? Well, some of you might, okay? In today's world, statistics now tell us that 50% of young adults aged 18 to 24 check Facebook upon rising. The social media platforms with 2 billion monthly users is a primary source for news, political commentary, and targeted advertising in a society that still needs and depends on informed citizenry and needs to understand the difference between right and wrong and what we will provide to our citizens in terms of information. We've reached a tipping point that demands thoughtful, value-based decision-making relative to user privacy, content, and usage. And Kevin Martin is clearly the right man for this job. As former chair of the Federal Communications Commission, Martin just last month was named Facebook's Vice President for Public Policy, charged with devising regulatory solutions that not only protects Facebook users, but also safeguards the American democracy. His background and experience as a global leader on media, communications, and technology policy makes him uniquely qualified for this critical moment. After graduating from the Harvard Law School, Martin worked as a legal advisor to the Federal Communications Commission, and then as technology advisor for President George W. Bush, before being tapped to lead the Federal Communications Commission, the agency responsible for the economy's infrastructure and communications technology sector. In a time of explosive growth in technology and innovation that well outpaced legislation, Kevin Martin created a regulatory environment that encouraged infrastructure investment, a broadband competition, and improve the connectivity for American citizens. After leaving the FCC, he joined the Aspen Institute as a senior advisor, and then further went on to practice law at Patton Boggs in Washington. He joined Facebook in May 2015 as Vice President of Mobile Communications and Global Access. He worked with government officials around the world to determine and ensure that we have a safe and secure internet presence. Integrating regulatory oversight into Facebook's business model is a multi-level challenge in a multi-channeled world. In recognition of his vast experience in regulatory affairs and commitment to protect the integrity of one of our most popular and influential communication patterns, it is my distinct pleasure to confer the degree, honorary degree, Doctor of Laws on Kevin Jeffrey Martin. Kevin, by the authority vested in me by the visitors and governors of Washington College and by the state of Maryland, I confer upon you the honorary degree of Doctor of Laws with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. It is now my great pleasure to invite our most recent alumnus to deliver commencement remarks to our graduates. Dr. Martin.
Wow. What an honor to end up being here this morning. Thank you, President Landgraf. I've known and admired you for a long time, so your kind words in this honor mean so much to me. I was truly flattered to be invited to this inspiring ceremony, and I'm very touched to receive this honorary degree. It means so much coming from an institution with such a proud history, rich traditions, and a legacy of leadership. Thank you all very much. I'm so honored to be your newest alumnus and a member of the class of 2018. I have to say my time here at Washington College has flown by. It seems like only an hour ago I first set foot on this campus. I was so young and I had so much to learn. But we've had some good times together, haven't we, classmates? Listening to President Landgraf praise some guy we never heard of. All that time in the library during my brief tour this morning. And of course, the procession. I don't know about you, but I feel like 90% of my Washington College experience has been in this field house. Now, to start, I want to do something unusual. Most speakers tell you to put away your phones. I say feel free to take out your phones. Take a picture to remember today. Snap a selfie. Just remember to post it on Facebook. Or share it on Instagram. We own them too. And if you get bored, take a look at a few ads. Don't worry, we kicked the bad guys off. Now, as President Landgraf mentioned, at Facebook, I work with the government agencies, the Senate and House. And a few months ago, our CEO, Mark Zuckerberg, appeared before Congress for the very first time. I was part of the team that helped him prepare. My colleagues at Facebook thought I might be able to provide some helpful advice. After all, 15 years ago, I was the chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, and I sat in that same congressional hot seat. I was called to answer questions about one of the nation's most pressing issues of the 21st century. Unfortunately, my experience was not that relevant in preparing Mark. He was going to testify about the big complex issues surrounding privacy and technology. I was called to Congress to testify about Janet Jackson's wardrobe malfunction. All right, a quick show of hands. How many of the graduates remember seeing that live on TV? How about the parents? How many of you remember seeing that? Yeah. That's more like what I thought. It was the most watched, recorded, and replayed moment in television history. And for those of you who missed it, let me explain. In 2004, at the halftime of the Super Bowl, Janet Jackson and Justin Timberlake performed. At the very end, Timberlake reached out and tore off part of her costume, a piece of the upper half of her costume. Now, some of you know where this is going and are getting nervous. And let me check on something. Kurt, no matter what I say next, this degree is non-revocable. Okay? You've been warned. As a result, for approximately half a second, Janet Jackson's bare skin, or more precisely, her bare breast, was exposed live on national TV before 143 million people, including children and toddlers. The press, the public, and Congress went crazy. And I mean totally, completely bonkers. And you know who they were mad at? The NFL, CBS, Justin and Janet? No, they were mad at me and the other members of the FCC. We were supposed to be the guardians of the airwaves. We got more than 500,000 angry letters and emails. and a few thank you cards from 13-year-old boys. We were summoned to Congress to explain what history now knows as the wardrobe malfunction. Now, up until that point, I'd always felt confident testifying before Congress. But this time was different. We were bombarded with angry questions. The ones about MTV, NSYNC, and pop music were bad enough. But then came the hard part. I knew I was really in trouble when I had to explain to a group of white-haired senators the difference between a nipple shield and a pasty. Please forgive me, President Washington. Well, a nipple shield, that almost sounds patriotic, like something Captain America might wear. In that Senate hearing, I felt so unprepared. The communications law I'd studied at Harvard, irrelevant. My years working communication cases at the law firm, not much help there either. And then finally, the senators turned to me and asked, "What are you going to do about it?" Well, I'll tell you how I answered that question and how I got there in a couple of minutes. But before I do, I want to take a moment to thank the Board of Visitors and Governors, the Provost, the faculty and administration, the alumni chair, marshals, and Reverend Crooks for all being with us today. And let me begin by saying the most important word at commencement. Congratulations to the class of 2018. You've accomplished wonderful things both inside the classroom and beyond. You know, I was struck by something extraordinary you helped make happen, awarding an honorary degree to Frederick Douglass. Born just a few miles away from here, he became one of our nation's true heroes and a pioneering fighter for human rights. Despite his amazing accomplishments, he could not have attended Washington College because of the color of his skin. As President Landgraf said, we can't change that history, but we can and should learn from it. By awarding Douglass that degree, this class has honored a remarkable American. Well done. Well done. I also want to convey a big congratulations and thanks to the parents and loved ones on behalf of the class of 2018. Again, let me say thank you to those. In a few minutes, your students will receive the all-important piece of parchment. And parents, congratulations on something else, something that hits especially close to home for me. My wife, Kathy, and I have 3 children, Luke, Will, and Libby. And if you'll actually indulge me for just a moment, my oldest son, Luke, came home the other day from school. He said that one of his classmates actually has a cousin in the graduating class, Ellie Pitzer. Ellie, you were there? Yeah. And so my son's friend asked him, "Why is your dad giving the speech at graduation?" My son proudly answered, "I have no idea. But oh God, I hope he doesn't embarrass me." I hope not, at least not yet. My kids are so close in age that in a few years I could have all 3 in college at the same time. Maybe even here at Washington College. I'm hoping they'll be able to get in now that they're legacies. So to those parents who've just paid your last tuition bill, I say I'm jealous. And to those parents who have other young people to go to college, I say I'll soon feel your pain. Now, standing up here today, I can't help but think back to my own graduation from the University of North Carolina in 1989. Back then, we were pretty technologically savvy. We were doing really cutting-edge stuff, like using IBM PCs instead of typewriters. We could fix a broken cassette with a pencil. If you don't know what I'm talking about, ask your parents what a pencil was. Of course, compared to you, we were pretty much in the dark ages. In 1989, the World Wide Web was only in research labs and secret government facilities, kind of like the Hawkins lab on Stranger Things. We had to go to the library and use something called a card catalog. Smartphones wouldn't come along until our 20th reunion. This means we went all the way through college without sending a single text or taking a single selfie. I know what you're thinking. If we didn't take selfies, what would we post on Instagram? Of course, we had no Facebook. My boss, Mark Zuckerberg, was barely 5 years old. I'm guessing he hadn't even thought of creating it yet. But then again, maybe. I don't have to tell you, class of 2018, that in your lifetime, the pace of technological change has been phenomenal. I've been lucky enough to help guide that change, first at the FCC and now at Facebook. Looking ahead, the pace of change will only accelerate. What does that mean for you as you enter the world of work? It means that you'll have to deal with more change than any other generation in history. Where you work, when you work, and how you work will all be changing. You'll be switching jobs, and often. And the jobs you'll have won't be like the ones your parents or grandparents had. By the time you're 30, more than half of all the workers will be independent contractors, freelancers, and consultants. The good news? Washington College has prepared you well for that dynamic world. Which leads me to the first of 3 pieces of advice I want to share with you. Number 1, follow your dreams, but be flexible on how you reach them. My dream was to get involved in politics and policy. My first plan was to go back home to Charlotte after law school, get a job, and run for public office. I did 2 summer jobs at 2 different law firms. Now, usually, summer jobs lead to full-time job offers, but not for me. So I had to try a different path. I decided to move to DC, get a job at a law firm, and then move over to work on Capitol Hill. I interviewed for congressional jobs and was turned down, not once, not twice, not 3 times, but on 4 different occasions. In fact, one colleague promised me that she would get me a job with a congressional committee. After the interview, she said I could have the job, but that they were only going to pay me $20,000 a year. Now, that was about 1/5 of the going rate for a junior lawyer. So I swallowed hard and said, I'll take it. And then she told me the truth. She'd already hired someone else. There was no job. She expected me to turn down the low salary so she wouldn't have to admit it. Sometimes that's how other people will treat your dreams. But still, I didn't give up. I just found another way to get there. In 1999, I figured I'd try a campaign. I moved down to Texas and joined the Bush presidential campaign. Some of you may remember the drama of that presidential campaign and recount, and that's a story for another day. But when George Bush became president, I went to work in the White House and ultimately to the FCC. It took many different paths and a lot of patience, but I reached my goal, and you can too. As you head towards your goal, you're going to have to make many adjustments. For example, you'll probably have to adjust to new workplace cultures, like I did. I spent most of my career in law firms. So when I walked in the door at Facebook, I collided headfirst with a culture shock. As the FCC chair, I had my own private office suite with a view of the Washington Monument. And, get this, I had my own private bathroom. At Facebook, everybody gets a cubicle. No views, and the bathroom is just down the hall, just like freshman year in Caroline Hall. Only I don't have to lug my shower caddy. In addition, at the FCC, I was one of the youngest chairs in the agency's history. The day I started at Facebook, I became the oldest person in the office, by far. At the FCC, I wore a suit every day, casual with slacks and a blazer. At Facebook, long pants and socks is dressed up. So, as you follow your dream, remember that you may have to adjust your path and adapt to new circumstances. But it's the destination, not the roadmap, that matters. Now, let me turn to my second piece of advice. Do your best at everything you do, because you'll never know which project will lead you to your goal. That's how I ended up at the FCC and eventually staring down those angry senators. When I started my first law job in DC, I knew I wanted to focus on politics and policy. But the first case assigned to me was neither. It was an appeals case about redistricting. My friends told me to pass on it, that it would take me away from communications policy, that it would be a lot of grunt work. I decided to accept it and do my best. I wanted to impress the two lawyers above me, Dan and Michael. I spent weeks going through boxes and boxes of legal documents. My friends were right. It was hard work. Just so you understand, let me explain what the case was about. Voters in Texas were suing about the boundaries of their congressional districts. But it wasn't just Texas. There were similar cases in Mississippi and Georgia, North Carolina, and Louisiana. And the Supreme Court was likely to pick one of those cases to rule on. One day there was a big meeting with all the lawyers representing all the states and all the cases. Big mahogany table, plush leather chairs, filled with dozens of sophisticated appellate attorneys. I was the most junior guy in the room, sitting on a folding chair in the back. I was so junior that I didn't know I wasn't supposed to say anything. I remember they were arguing. Each one thought the Supreme Court would pick their case. As the meeting was winding down and everyone was closing their files and zipping up their briefcases, I raised my hand and told them I thought maybe they were wrong. I said the court might not pick their case because their clients didn't actually live in the districts. And I thought the court might pick our case because the clients did live in the district. Let's just say that my big idea didn't go over well that day. And 2 months later, the Supreme Court made an announcement. And they picked some of the other cases. And I was wrong. But then something unexpected happened. On the very last day of the Supreme Court session, the court dismissed those other cases for the reason I had suggested. And the Supreme Court announced that our case, my case, would be reviewed when the court returned next fall. Everyone was surprised, especially my bosses, Dan and Michael. But because my analysis was right, they wanted me sitting next to them when they argued before the Supreme Court. In fact, we had to get a special waiver because I was too junior to sit at counsel's table at the Supreme Court. And those partners that I worked for, Dan recommended me for my first job at the FCC. And Michael recruited me to the Bush campaign. And that is how I ended up in front of Congress testifying about the Super Bowl. So do the best you can in everything you do, because you never know which project will lead to your dream. That's something our fellow honorary classmate Frederick Douglass understood. He said, "We may explain success mainly by one word, and that word is work. Not transient and fitful effort, but patient, enduring, honest, unremitting work, into which the whole heart is put." Well said. So let me explain how I answered those angry senators about the wardrobe malfunction. After they grilled us for a few hours, they wanted us to do something. So, first we canceled the singer who was scheduled for next year's Super Bowl, Dolly Parton. Just kidding. But if you don't know who she is, ask your parents. Actually, we fined CBS a record amount, more than $500,000, but that was later overturned by the courts. And you know, in the end, our nation survived Nipplegate. In fact, just this year, Justin Timberlake was actually invited back to perform at the Super Bowl. and I was invited back too, to eat pizza and watch the game in my neighbor's basement. But I taped the halftime show just in case. Now, finally, my third piece of advice, which has to do with faith. I have to confess that when I first considered what I was going to say, I thought it might be better not to mention faith. After all, you know the old adage, the best way to start a fight is to talk about politics or religion. That seems more true today than ever. But I decided I needed to try. Why? Because my faith has played such an important role in my life. I wouldn't be honest if I didn't say just a little bit about it. You can relax. I'm not going to deliver a sermon. Instead, I just want to share something very personal. I was only 34 when I became an FCC commissioner, and barely 38 when I became chair. Honestly, it was one of my most trying times. People said I was too young, that I looked like Harry Potter, that I didn't have enough experience, that I wasn't a very good public speaker. And those were my supporters. Within weeks of becoming chairman, my father died. My wife was pregnant with our first child, and work was really hard. Every day I made decisions that affected the bottom lines of some of the most powerful companies and corporations in the world. AT&T, Disney, Comcast, Apple. And their CEOs were not shy about letting me know when they were unhappy. In fact, many of the biggest names in corporate America threatened my job. And they weren't alone. I remember one day, one of the most powerful committee chairmen in Congress called me up. He said I had to support a regulation he wanted. And when I said I couldn't promise that I could do that, he said, well, here's what I can promise you. Unless you do what I want, I'm going to hang up the phone, call the White House, and tell them I'm starting impeachment proceedings on you next week. What was I supposed to say to that? Before he hung up, he did say, have a nice day. But really, what he really meant was, go ahead, make my day. In the end, I stuck to my guns, and I decided on the merits, not the threats. But the issues were tough. The pressure was immense, and I was young. So I prayed. I thought I was praying for answers, for guidance on what to do on this proceeding or that. But guess what? I never got that kind of inspiration. It was only much later that I realized I did get something else. Even during the most heated controversies, even under the most angry threats, I managed to stay calm. My staff was amazed that I didn't seem to feel any pressure. In fact, I was so cool that at times they worried I wasn't getting it. But there was a reason I was so calm, unencumbered by fear. You know, it's hard to explain, but I saw a quote one time from Martin Luther King Jr. And he said, "The confidence that God is mindful of the individual is of tremendous value in dealing with the disease of fear. For it gives us a sense of worth, of belonging, and of at homeness in the universe." My faith, my prayer, helped me overcome the disease of fear. It gave me calm to do what I thought was right. So when your job is stressful or turns scary, I hope you'll be open to finding the faith or spiritual support you need to feel worthy, connected, and at home. It's fair to say you're going to struggle in life, personally and professionally. We all do. Unfortunately, you'll face rejection and loss of parents, siblings, and loved ones. I know some of you already have. You'll have missteps and failures, and you'll be criticized. And so here's my wish for you, that you will be aware enough to recognize when you're struggling, humble enough to ask for help, including looking towards the heavens, and courageous enough in this sometimes cynical world to say thank you. So that's it. My advice for you. 3 simple things that I hope will help you navigate the road ahead. Follow your dreams, but be flexible. Do every project to the best of your ability. And have faith. I started off by saying thanks, and let me end there too. I don't just mean thanks for listening, although I do appreciate it. Instead, because I may not see you again, I want to say thanks in advance for what you're going to do. I envy the amazing opportunities in front of you. And I know the education you have gained and the inspiring things you've done here at Washington College mean you'll seize those opportunities to benefit your families, your communities, and our country. I don't know what technology I'll be using, but I can't wait to watch you and cheer you on. Thank you.
So tell your children why he was asked to speak here, okay? And Dr. Martin is a personal friend of mine, person I admire greatly, serve in another context with him, and very, very proud of you, and very proud that you're now part of the Washington College family, Dr. Martin. Now I'd like to ask Mr. Culp to come back up and read the mandamus for your graduation. Mr. Culp.
To the President of Washington College, it having been certified by the faculty to the visitors and governors of Washington College that the following named persons have satisfied all requirements for the baccalaureate degree, you are hereby authorized and directed, in accordance with the ordinance to that effect, to confer at the public commencement on May the 20th, 2018, the degrees which they have earned.
Thank you, Larry. So could all the graduates please rise? By the authority vested in me by the visitors and governors of Washington College and by the state of Maryland, I hereby confer upon you the degrees which you have earned with all the rights, responsibilities, privileges pertaining thereto. In testimony thereof, I will present you with your diploma when you appear before me on this platform. Please be seated. At this time, I want to call on an outstanding person, a member of this college, the Provost and Dean, Patrice DeQuinzio, to introduce the candidates for degrees. Dr. DeQuinzio.
Thank you, President Landgraf. It's such a pleasure to be here today. On behalf of all of the faculty, I want you to know how happy we are to celebrate your accomplishments with you. We have so enjoyed teaching and learning with you over these past 4 years, and we very much want you to stay in touch with us. We want to hear about all the amazing accomplishments that are ahead of you. Thank you. It is now my privilege to recognize the graduating senior with first honors. First honors is conferred to the senior who has achieved the highest cumulative average for the class of 2018 at Washington College. And this year we have a tie. Our first honor graduates are Anna R. Gertzen, Bachelor of Science, summa cum laude, the Psychology Department Outstanding Achievement Award and Departmental Honors in Psychology. And Debashish D. Genka, Bachelor of Arts, summa cum laude, the Economics Department Award and Departmental Honors in Economics. Will the candidates for the degree of Bachelor of Arts please come forward? Heidi Patricia Butler, summa cum laude, the American Studies Program Senior Capstone Award, the Alpha Chi Omega Music Award, and Departmental Honors in Music. Rachel Nicole Martinez, summa cum laude, the Margaret Horsley Award, and Departmental Honors in Sociology. Rebecca Elise Wood, summa cum laude, the Economics Department Award and Departmental Honors in Economics. Danielle Nicole Evans, summa cum laude, the Psychology Department Capstone Experience Award and Departmental Honors in Psychology. Emily Elizabeth Castle, summa cum laude, the Middendorf Award for Academic Excellence in the Study of the Environment and Departmental Honors in Environmental Studies. Gabriella Alexandra Winsky, summa cum laude, the Department of Business Management Award, the Stanley A. Shotland Business Leadership Award, the Dennis W. Berry 87 Leadership Award, and Departmental Honors in Business Management. Caitlin Brianna Ecker, summa cum laude, the Outstanding Dance Minor Student Award, the Sociology Service Award, Departmental Honors in Sociology. Stephanie Scott, summa cum laude. Shreyas Satyanarayana Suresh, summa cum laude, the Economics Department Award, Departmental Honors in Business Management, Departmental Honors in Economics. Alexandra Marie Green, summa cum laude, the International Studies Award, Departmental Honors in Business Management, Departmental Honors in International Studies. Rosalie Elizabeth Alger, summa cum laude, Departmental Honors in Anthropology, Departmental Honors in Theater. There's Ashley. There we are. It was worth waiting for. Alexandra Lynn Young, summa cum laude, the William Gover Duval 30 Prize, Departmental Honors in Mathematics. Naomi Black, summa cum laude, Departmental Honors in English. Jessica Marie Jones, summa cum laude, the Department of Modern Languages Service Award, Departmental Honors in Human Development. Evan Michael Laking, summa cum laude, Departmental Honors in Business Management. Erin Nicole Smedley, magna cum laude, in absentia, Departmental Honors in Computer Science, Departmental Honors in English. Casey Lynn Williams, magna cum laude, the Maureen Jacoby Prize, the Emil J.C. Hildenbrand Memorial Medal, Departmental Honors in English. Elizabeth Louise Rafala, magna cum laude, the Dr. Davy H. McCall Prize in Economics. Michael Anthony DeMaio, magna cum laude, the Gary E. Clark Performance Prize, Departmental Honors in Business Management, Departmental Honors in Music. Kirsten Amanda Webb, magna cum laude, the Anthropology Award, the Lambda Alpha Gamma of Maryland Chapter Senior Award Departmental Honors in Anthropology. Molly Igo, magna cum laude. The Political Science Award, Departmental Honors in Political Science. Julia Zheng, magna cum laude in absentia, Departmental Honors in Political Science. Timothy J. Hickey, magna cum laude, Departmental Honors in Business Management. Yi Yuan Tao, magna cum laude. Mallory Valentine Smith, magna cum laude. The Writers Union Award, Departmental Honors in English. Brooke Schultz, magna cum laude. The Bennett Lamont Senior Capstone Award in English, Departmental Honors in English. Jordana Eileen Chi, magna cum laude. Department of Music Award for Professional Promise in Research and Creative Achievement, Departmental Honors in Music, Departmental Honors in Psychology. Ethan Daniel Trucker, magna cum laude. Catherine Lee Reinl, magna cum laude. The Arthur A. Knapp 39 Memorial Prize in History, Departmental Honors in History. Mary Jordan Ware, magna cum laude. The Daniel L. Primo Award, the Holstein Prize for Ethics. Shannon Marie Long, cum laude. Departmental Honors in Anthropology. Yuanqi Zhou, cum laude. Departmental Honors in Business Management. Graham Nathaniel Hulsey, cum laude. Departmental Honors in Economics.
Are you Alexandra Green? Would you like your diploma?
Amy Lee Roan, cum laude. Departmental Honors in English. Sarah E. Graff, cum laude. Alexis Stella, cum laude. Departmental Honors in English. Nicholas Richard, cum laude, in absentia, Departmental Honors in English. Caitlin Elizabeth Croak, cum laude. Sydney Christine Rossetti, cum laude. Nicholas Couto, cum laude. Ava Fuchs, cum laude. Ria Aurora, cum laude. The Tai Sung An Memorial Prize, Departmental Honors in English. Marybeth Elise Harrington, cum laude. Nicholas Raymond Lefevre, cum laude. Joseph Swit, cum laude. Sarah Jane Weeder, cum laude. Departmental Honors in Business Management. Caroline Lanier Harvey, cum laude. Departmental Honors in English. Allison Scott, cum laude. Adam Addis. Claudia Adeyike Ajumumuni. Amy M. Akel. Amal Hussein Al-Katani. Jalen Corey Anderson. Eric Paul Antich, in absentia. Lindsay Nicole Arnstein. Tanner Michael Barbieri. Michael Brendan Bartels. Morgan Elizabeth Bench, the Lynette Nielsen Professional Practice Award, Departmental Honors in Art and Art History. Christopher J. Bowers, Jr. Sarah Margaret Bentley. Samantha Rose Belozinski. Michael Harrison Bloom. Nicholson Raymond Kane. Rachel Elizabeth Carmody. George Alexander Carneal. Sabrina Jalay Carroll, the Virginia M. Connor 85 Psychology Award, the Departmental Honors in Psychology. Brianna Dawn Caruso, the Environmental Science and Studies Award. Chen Chen. Andrew J. Shiriko, in absentia, Departmental Honors in Business Management. Amorn Chittitiwang. Mainul Alam Chowdhury. Mark Christie. Peter Chaccio, Departmental Honors in Business Management. Samuel Maurice Cloud. Michaela May Connors. Benjamin Cooper. Kellen Alexis DeFusco. Thomas Blaney Del Priore. Jack Edward Despo. Stephen Michael Deese. Anna Elena DiPrimio. Detasla Joseph Dixon. Zachary Julian Dominic. Ryan McGinnis Donnelly. Finney Dorsch. Kerry Ann Edmonds. Christopher Mazzola Eggstein. Catherine Amanda Eichler, Departmental Honors in English. Emily Virginia Irving. Melkol Fantaya. Daniel Fader. Benjamin Smith Flood. Hayden Andrew Ford. Faith Jansen Gallagher. Markel L. Gamble. Michaela Anita Rose Gamino, the Anthropology Service Award. Ashlyn Marie Gardner. Hiyab Tewolde Gebretense. Cameron Hughes Gilson, Departmental Honors in Business Management. Danielle Cheyenne Glenn. Kathleen Mary Gorman. Mary Ann Grosscup, the Lynette Nielsen Juror's Choice Award. Paige Marie Guarino. Abigail Ruth Geis. Lou Goa. Kayun Han, in absentia. Shuyang Han, in absentia. Haley Marie Hartman. Jacob Cole Hathaway. Kyle Michael Hayden, in absentia. Thomas Shin Wan Heffernan. Lindsay Evan Heidelbach, the Art History Award. Austin Barry Hepburn III. Evan R. Hirschbaum. Michaela Elise Hoffman, Departmental Honors in English. Pamela Jean Holland, in absentia. Michael William Holowesko. Taylor Robinson Haran. Parker Joshua Hornstein, in absentia. Xiao Hao Hu. Emily Anna Hauk. Megan Elizabeth Iacona. Lorenz Andreas Iverson III, Departmental Honors in Music. Katie L. Jackson. Peterson Busby Jacobs. Taylor Justine Johnson. Megan Elizabeth Jones. Cullen Patrick Joyce. Brennan Catherine Morgan Kesar. Malloy Catherine Kawabata. Elizabeth M. Kearney. Pratik Kejriwal. Grace Marie Kim. Lillian Grace King, the Department of Business Management Senior Capstone Experience Award, Departmental Honors in Business Management. Melat Asfawasan Kiros. Joshua Thomas Knox. Nathan Harris Krimmel. Tatiana Alyssa Kulik. Ethan J. LaLumia. Patricia Michelle Lamarck, the Erica and Henry Salick Prize. Julia Nicole Laser. Gabrielle Sophia Leach. Hanglu Lee, in absentia. Jianhui Lee. Olivia Beth Leibowitz. Lydia Ann Lyon, the Phi Alpha Theta Award. Bowen Liu. Madison Emily Long. Joe Dunn Lozapone. Alexander Scott Lucas, in absentia. Michael Patrick Luckert, the Jonathan A. Taylor Jr. Leadership Award. Connor Monroe Lugo Harris. Oh my goodness. Kevin John Daniel McKenzie. Kevin? Austin Bennett Maddox. Shane Mansky. Patrick William Maribel. John J. Marshall Mason, in absentia. Mara Adele Matthews. Elena Maureen McCleary. Elijah Shai McGuire Burke. Patrick E. McManus. Carly Grace McNeil. Allison Ann Meal. Erin Ray Meredith. Peter Daniel McCoulis. Seth McCrae Miller. Catherine Emilia Moore. Emily Louise Moran. Morgan Piper Moran. LaShawn Dominique Morris, in absentia. Matthew A. Monk. Hannah Farron Niles. John Michael Neiswander. Justin Miller Panapinto. Kruti Y. Patel. Taylor Patterson. Corey L. Pippin. Elizabeth Ashley Pitzer. Andrew Joseph Poe, the Lynette Nielsen Juror's Choice Award. Nicholas Papalizio. Tyler Austin Powers. Austin James Protak. Courtney Maureen Rainey, the Sean O'Connor Teaching Award. Samson Periyasame Ramasamy. Heather Lynn Ramlal. Paige Ann Rebstock, the Penny J. Fall Award. Daniel Herbert Redman. Griffin Rodrigue. Georgios Vasilios Roros, Departmental Honors in Computer Science. William Christopher Said. Linda Malika Sacco. Allison Lee Sanders. Christopher W. Saul, Jr. Casey Salisbury. Abigail Schultz. Whitney Crosby Schweitzer. Lindsay Scott. Nicholas Sharif Scotto. Rachel Elizabeth Shaw. Zachary X. Shaw. Joseph Shelton. Juliana Grace Ships. Sophia Lucero Sadu. Chalisa Singh. Samantha Adams Sink. Liza Pennington Slavin. Clay Bryant Smith. Kyron Lyndon Snowden. Autumn Grace Spence. Emily Reed Stakem. Chelsea Lynn Stevens. Sydney Ann Stone. Jackson Justice Surley in absentia. Matthew R. Tancredi. Daniel Jacob Tiano. Richard Daniel Torres Jr., the Karen Cates Emick Award. Brandon Thomas Toth. Kelly Diane Vallette. Kerry Ann Walsh. Guanpen Huang. Zishen Wang. Abigail Grace Wark, the Stewart Theater Award, Departmental Honors in Theater. Spencer Matthew Warren. Hope Watland. Luke Anthony Weaver, Departmental Honors in Business Management. Cody Weiler. Benjamin Asher Weinstein, the Department of Philosophy and Religion Award, Departmental Honors in Philosophy. Sean M. Weiss. Jeffrey Scott Roble, Jr. Jiying Wu, in absentia. Jiahong Xu. Shoka Yang. Yilin Yang, in absentia. Shenqi Yang. Bokai Zhang. Jingjia Zhang. Qinshuan Zhang. Tianyi Zhang. Shidan Zhang, Departmental Honors in Music. Chunye Ju. Jordan Michaela Zotto. Will the candidates for the Bachelor of Science degree please come forward? Alexandria Taylor Rydell, summa cum laude. The Department of Biology Award of Special Recognition, Departmental Honors in Biology. Bryn Elizabeth Brous, summa cum laude. The Department of Biology Medical Professional Award, Departmental Honors in Biology. Shiera Catrice Williams, magna cum laude, Departmental Honors in Psychology. Maya Chi Adorian, magna cum laude, the Department of Biology Award of Special Recognition, Departmental Honors in Biology. Taylor Lee Stofko, cum laude, the Department of Biology Nursing Professional Award. Catherine Michelle Arnold, cum laude, Departmental Honors in Biology. Elizabeth Ann Cara, cum laude, Departmental Honors in Psychology. Madison Russell Akra, cum laude, Departmental Honors in Biology. Isaiah Tyler Chapman, cum laude. Jason Christopher Lewis, cum laude, Departmental Honors in Biology. Jennifer Lynn Clooney, cum laude, Departmental Honors in Psychology. Suzuka Kokuba, cum laude. Adam Glass, cum laude, Departmental Honors in Biology. Amanda Michelle Alt. John Burton Baker. Simon R. Belcher, the James R. Miller 51 Award for Excellence in Chemistry, the Arthur A. Knapp 39 Memorial Prize in History. Kaylee Belkoff. Morgan Bach. Allison Marie Boissonal. Anna Mackenzie Campbell. Skylar T. Clark, the Joseph H. McLean 37 Prize, Departmental Honors in Chemistry. Travis James Clevenstein. Allison Nicole Cochran. Jonathan Matthew Cooper. Gabrielle Dilliard Coroniti. Amy Lee Christ. Kevin Edward Day. Michaela Grace Dowling. Priya Marie Dutt. Gabrielle Ann Edwards. Cordelia Helen Foss. Shannon Joan Falcone. Emily Margaret Farrington. Krista Daphne Filiopoulos. Andrea Z. Freeman. Mackenzie Catherine Gaze. Elena Nicole Geisberger. Catherine Hope Geringer. Christopher John Gingrich. Stephen Michael Goff, Jr. Emily Marie Green, the Department of Biology Nursing Professional Award, in absentia. Taylor Grace Harcum. Bridget Hint. Taylor Elizabeth Heinlein. Stephanie Princess Cornelia Hornsby. Michael Patrick Hudson. Lindsay Marie Jackson. Hannah Elizabeth Jasek. Olivia Catherine Judd, Departmental Honors in Psychology. Cody James Kirkpatrick. Kennedy Zoel Lamb. Adam Tyler Lamphere. Bradley Drew Long, the Department of Biology Pharmacy Professional Award. Spencer Christopher Martis. Meredith Jean Maynard. Benjamin Turner Nelson. Kieran Elizabeth Pont, the John S. Toll Prize in Physics. Amy Rebecca Farr. Christina Nicole Pletcher. Evan Nicholas Syed. Katerina Scolamiro. Alexandra Lee Seaman. Melanie Marie Sheehan. Nathaniel Thomas Simmons, the Department of Biology Research Award. Alex John Sercott. Merrick Sinjun Smith. George Joseph Stockberger III. Alyssa Rose Terrell. Nicholas Ernest Totis. Elizabeth Ann Weber. Andrew Valerian Wells. Jasmine Ray White. Yi Jiang. Mingji Zhou. A student who will soon complete the requirements for her Bachelor of Arts degree, Monica J. Linnell.
At this time, I would ask all candidates to please stand. He Juvenes, Candati Alumni Sunt. Will the graduates please hood one another at this time?
Okay, let me ask all the students to be seated, please. I want to call again on Patrice DeQuinzio and Alumni Board Chair Ariane Ravanbach to award the Alumni Awards Distinguished Teaching Award.
The Alumni Association's Distinguished Teaching Award. At an institution blessed with a number of distinguished teachers, the recipient of the Alumni Association's Distinguished Teaching Award is difficult to choose. Extensive consultation with students and faculty has led us to our conclusion This year, the award is presented to Professor Aaron Krochmal, Associate Professor of Biology. I'm very happy for you. Now you must hear yourself honored. No. Stand here. Stand here. He's good at teaching, but not following directions. Professor Krochmal, with his teams of student researchers, has been studying the migration patterns of adult and juvenile eastern painted turtles every summer for the past several years. His research on how older turtles use spatial memory to navigate overland in search of aquatic habitat has been featured in several notable professional journals, including Animal Conservation, Current Biology, Current Opinion in Behavioral Sciences, and Proceedings of the Royal Society of London. This work has important implications for how animals respond to habitat loss and changing environments, and helps inform conservation management policies and practices, while also raising new questions about the evolutionary origin of complex cognition. It's fascinating work. Well done, Aaron.
So congratulations, Professor Krochmal. It's now my privilege to award the highest honors and prizes are within Washington College's faculty to bestow upon members of the class of 2018. The first awards are given for outstanding scholarship in particular fields. The provost will make the presentation.
The Jane Houston Goodfellow Memorial Prize to a graduating senior majoring in science who has an abiding appreciation of the arts and humanities and has shown scholastic excellence. This year we have a tie. This is awarded to Simon R. Belcher and Amy Lee Christ. Congratulations. The Gold Pentagon Awards to a senior and to one alumnus, faculty, or friend of the college selected by Omicron Delta Kappa Society in recognition of meritorious service to Washington College. Awarded to a senior, Maya Chi Adorian. Also awarded to a distinguished faculty member, Dr. George J. Spillage. That was good. The Sophie Kerr Prize. I am very proud of our 5 Sophie Kerr Prize finalists. When I call your name, will you please stand and be recognized? Rhea Aurora. Caroline Harvey. Brooke Schultz. Mallory Smith, and Casey Williams. Congratulations to each of you. And now, to the senior judge to have the best ability and promise for future fulfillment in the field of literary endeavor, awarded to Caroline Lanier Harvey. The next 5 awards are voted on and conferred by the entire faculty of Washington College. These awards have special significance as the graduates receiving them have made a tremendous impact on campus life. Their names will be added to plaques in William Smith Hall, permanent reminders of their importance to Washington College. The Louis L. Goldstein Class of '35 Award, to a graduating senior who, in the opinion of the faculty, has demonstrated unusual interest, enthusiasm, and potential in the field of public affairs. Rachel Nicole Martinez. The Eugene B. Casey Medal, to a senior woman voted by the faculty to be outstanding in the qualities of scholarship, character, leadership, and campus citizenship. Maya Chi Adorian. The Henry W.C. Catlin 1894 Medal, to a senior man voted by the faculty to be outstanding in the qualities of scholarship, character, leadership, and campus citizenship. Shreyas Satyanarayana Suresh. The Clark Porter Medal, to the student whose character and personal integrity, in the opinion of the faculty, have most clearly enhanced the quality of campus life. Presented by Charles B. Clark, Class of '34, in memory of Henry B. Porter, Class of 1905. Awarded this year to Brooke Schultz. The George Washington Medal and Award, to the senior who shows the greatest promise of understanding and realizing in life and work the ideals of a liberal arts education. Awarded to Michael Anthony DeMaio.
Okay, folks. So, Congratulations to all of you. Let's give them another round of applause, all of them. So your relationship with this fabulous college is just beginning. I hope you can support your alma mater in every possible way that you can. You are our best new ambassadors, not only for this college, but you show what's best about liberal arts education. Please keep in touch with your membership in the Alumni Association so we can follow your accomplishments. And come back here often. I ask now the graduates to rise and to congratulate each other and welcome you formally into the ranks of Washington College alumni. I'm going to invite all of you to join us in Martha's Washington Square, where it's 35 degrees cooler, immediately following the ceremony. I'd like to ask the audience now to stand for the alma mater, followed by the benediction given by Reverend Crooks, and remain standing until the academic procession moves out. Thank you very much for being here. I greatly appreciate it all.
Her freedom won, and our college alone was the first one to own to the fair name of Washington. So Washington, oh Washington, our Washington we do adore. We will fight for her honor as their sons and daughters have before. So Washington, oh Washington, our Washington forevermore. She's our dear alma mater on the old eastern shore.
Jenny Bain Wilson was born in 1856. Wheelchair-bound due to childhood illness, she was later baptized as a young adult by being carried into the river. She went on in her life to write more than 2,000 poems and hymns. Hear these words from one of her hymns published in 1906. Time is filled with swift transition. Naught of earth unmoved can stand. Build your hopes on things eternal. Hold to God's unchanging hand. As we rise up and go out from this place, may we hold to God's unchanging hand. May every step we take build hope and truth beauty, and justice upon this earth. And may the footsteps of these graduates bring blessing to the world wherever they walk. Amen.